Okay, we're going to tie up a New York hook to get it prepped and ready to be raised up into the building. A change in how some we're changing is how we orient our hooks when we raise them. Typically in the past they've always been hook down. In this case we're gonna flip them all so they're all hook up as they go into the building. That way the tool is oriented in the right position once it enters through the window, so it's ready to go to work. And also it keeps them from being a spear if they were to be dropped on the fire ground. So in this case our hook is facing toward our building, we're facing our objective, so our back isn't turned to it. There's two different methods we can use to tie it down. We're either do a clove hitch or a Hewitt knot around the base, along with 2 half hitches. First, I'll do the Hewitt knot. Create my loop, pull a loop through it. We're gonna wrap the loop that we pulled through the loop that we made around the base of the tool. And we're gonna tighten it. This is gonna hold tight on the base of the tool as we pull it up. We're gonna run the line all the way to the top, create a half hitch, first half hitch is gonna go on the midpoint of our long handled tool. We're gonna keep everything all lined up. We're gonna create our second half hitch, and the second half hitch is gonna go directly below the hook, be it a rubbish hook, a New York hook, a pike pole. And then we're gonna make sure that this is all tensioned properly and dressed. Okay. We're gonna demonstrate our second method for tying off a long handled tool, in this case a New York hook, to be raised aloft into the building. We have it oriented so it's tipped first as it goes up through the window. We're gonna tie off a clove hitch and put the clove hitch around the base of our long handled tool. We're gonna pull it tight. We're gonna make sure that the clove hitch is oriented correctly so that when we pull the line that's gonna go, when we pull on it, go up into the building, the clove hitch locks itself off so this knot holds tight as it's raised. We're gonna lift our tool up. We're gonna tie 2 half hitches. The first half hitch is gonna be approximately in the middle of our long handled tool. And then we're gonna tie a second half hitch. And that second half hitch is going to pull tight just below the head or the tip of our New York hook. And then we're going to make sure that everything's dressed nice, straight, and clean, so it's ready to be raised up into the building. Great. The different ways to tie off a axe, be it a flathead or a pickhead, to raise up aloft into the building. First of all, we want to orient our tool in the correct position. We want the head facing away from the building, so when we raise it, it goes up handle first, so that way there's no chance that someone can cut their hand on the head of the tool as they're pulling it up into the building. We also want to be facing our objective so we can see what's in front of us rather than having our back turned. We're going to start out with the Hewitt knot. We're going to tie our Hewitt knot, make our loop, pull the loop down through it. We're going to take this loop and place it over the handle of our, in this case, flathead axe. We're going to create the second loop that we pulled through the knot. It's going to go over the flathead portion, not over the blade of the axe, but over the flathead portion, and it's going to pull itself tight. Okay, so our Hewitt knot is tight all the way at the base of the flathead axe. We then are going to stand our flathead axe up, and we're going to see that it's going to run a nice straight line where it wraps underneath the flathead. We're going to put 1 half hitch in it. Okay. We're going to dress everything up nice, neat, and clean, and we're ready to hoist. All right, our second way of tying off an axe to be raised aloft up into a building. This works for flathead or a pig-headed axe. We already did it with the Hewitt knot. Now we're going to do it with the clove hitch. So tie a traditional clove hitch in the middle of our line, tie our clove hitch up, we're going to place it down over the handle. We're going to bring the clove hitch all the way down by the head of the axe. We are going to pull it tight. Now, we have to locate the right section of the clove hitch so the clove hitch is locking down over itself. So this is the rope that's the side that's going to get pulled up into the building, so it needs to lock the clove hitch closed. We now need to wrap the clove hitch, because we're not tying a Hewitt knot. We got to wrap the clove hitch over the head of the tool. The clove hitch is now, as you see, it's going to run up the back side of the tool. We're going to put 1 half hitch in it. at the end of the handle, we're going to pull that tight. And just like that, we're ready to hoist. Today we're going to go over how to properly secure a nozzle to be raised up into a building. It can be any hose line, be it a bundle or a single length of hose. Either way, we just want to make sure that our nozzle is oriented correctly. We want our nozzle to be facing toward the building. We also want to be facing our objective so we can see what's going on in front of us. We have two different ways to tie it off. The way I'm going to demonstrate right now is using a Hewitt knot. So we're going to make a loop in our rope. We're going to reach through the loop. We're going to grab rope, reach through the loop. We're going to grab the rope, pull it through. We're going to make a large loop. That loop is going to be used to feed over the top of our nozzle, all the way down to the hose, where we're going to pull our Hewitt knot tight and cinch it tight around the hose itself below the coupling. Okay, we're then going to create another loop that we are going to put a twist in. Your half hitch. Your half hitch is going to go through the bail and then wrap over the top of the nozzle. It's going to pull tight. And now, as we pull this line upward, it's going to keep the bail closed. We're ready to hoist. Okay, we're going to go over our second method for tying off a hose line to be raised aloft into a structure. Once again, we want to start out with the nozzle oriented in the correct direction, facing the building, and we want to be facing our objective as well so we can see what's going on in front of us. We're going to first, in this method we're going to tie a clove hitch, and we're going to put the clove hitch around the hose just below the coupling. So we're going to tie a quick clove hitch midline here, stretch it out so it's big enough because we got to fit it over this whole nozzle. Clove hitch over everything. It's going to go all the way to the coupling. We're going to pull it tight. Oh, we got cut. Put it the wrong way. The downside of the clove. We're going to go over our second method for tying off a hose line to be raised aloft into a structure. We want to start off the same way we did before with the nozzle oriented, pointed towards the building. We also want to be facing our objective so that way we can see what's going on in front of us. We're going to tie a clove hitch and tie it around the hose just below the coupling. So we're going to tie a clove hitch midline, make sure it's nice and big to fit over. We're going to take our clove hitch, we're going to wrap it over the end of the nozzle, over the bail, all the way down to the hose. We're going to pull our clove hitch tight. We want to make sure our clove hitch is oriented in the correct position so that way it tensions on itself. So once it's oriented, we know it's oriented correctly because it's going to pull over on top of the knot. Keep it tight. We're then going to place a bite through the bail. We're going to put one spin in it, one half hitch in it. We're going to pull it tight, our half hitch tight, and it's going to pull down tight over the bail so that way it holds it closed as we raise it up into the building.